Almost there. You're going to be on stage soon. So
Yeah, so I'm going to be presenting my film that I co-directed called We Are Guardians. Somos Guardiões, Somos Guardianes. It's currently available on Netflix in Latin America in 27 countries, and it will be soon available worldwide. The documentary is a close character-driven story, verite style, about several indigenous forest guardians who are going out into the jungle to fight against illegal loggers to protect the land and the forest that we all need for survival. The film goes into detail with a scientist about why the Amazon is so important for the global climate. It connects the global supply chain and how we are all complicit in its destruction. And it also follows very closely an illegal logger to show how the system is affecting everybody. And I'm really proud to have directed this film with Ejiban Guajajara, an indigenous filmmaker from one of the territories that the film features. And I learned Portuguese in the process of 4 years making this film, which is also an amazing personal journey. And Leonardo DiCaprio executive produced it, and I got to work closely with Fisher Stevens, an amazing, famous documentary director who produced the film and was a mentor on the project. So my first feature-length documentary took 4 years of my life and all the strength and power and courage I could muster, and I really want you guys to see it. I think it's really important.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So, congratulations. First of all, I just want to say that's amazing. That's the dream, like being able to bring on people that actually are making a difference, like Leonardo DiCaprio, and having the big names support it. That's incredible, inspiring.
We needed that because the market for films is terrible right now, and it was Leo who actually called Netflix and was like, "You need to make this happen."
And so, is it going on Netflix, or you bought it back
in Latin America?
Oh wow,
we're working with like Amazon Prime and Google Rental and iTunes for the rest of the world. But
amazing. Yeah, and I would just say the Amazon is not just important for the climate, but for literally everything, every ecosystem, our living, breathing ecosystems that come from the Amazon. It's the heart of the world. It's where all of our animals and species are. And so what part of you were in Brazil?
Yeah.
What part of
Brazil?
Brazil?
The Amazon rainforest it creates its own rain. And the rainfall, so the water gets sucked by the forest. The trees themselves are like a bionic pump, and they're sucking water from the Atlantic Ocean. So the Atlantic Ocean brings water comes across the Amazon basin, hits the Andes Mountains, and circulates 6 times. And that's what creates the environment for the trees that are specifically designed to live in that zone. That's what creates their climate so they can survive. But if you deforest, then you're creating less rain to circulate, and more trees will die and become more susceptible to climate change. The temperature will get hotter, more trees will die. It's a feedback loop, and it's a tipping point that's being crossed right now. And what starts that tipping point are areas of the Amazon that are more than 40% deforested, like the area that's featured in the film. And so by regenerating and by protecting those forests, we can actually make a difference for the entire Amazon basin, which, by the way, we're in Southern California right now, Middle Central Valley of California, which is the most affected by losing trees in the Amazon of anywhere else outside of the South American continent. There's a specific climatic connection between the Amazon rainforest and California, which is, by the way, where the United States grows like 70% of our food. And so less snowfall, less rainfall here will have a huge impact on our life, our food source, and our economy.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. It's so incredible and inspiring, because when we see also the indigenous, we need to protect the indigenous wisdom of the Amazon, because they have so many traditions, their sacred traditions of, connecting with the land, with connecting with spirit, connecting with all the plant species, animals, these amazing healing plant medicines, and just there's so many integral aspects of what the Amazon holds, and connecting all these pieces together is so crucial. And looking at this whole holistic perspective of how everything is chained together and how everything is linked, because
absolutely,
if we can protect the Amazon, protect the indigenous wisdom, connect them to reforestation projects, connect them to eco villages, connect them to new intentional communities, and link these things together, then we can create this holistic network and ecosystem of regenerating the planet.
Well said. Well said. Regeneration is the antidote to despair. A lot of people are experiencing climate grief right now, and the one thing that you can do is plug in your way and help. And if you're looking for a way, our film is doing an impact campaign which will benefit directly the communities featured in the film on the eastern edge of the Amazon to help protect and regenerate their forests. WeAreGuardiansFilm.com. You can go and donate and sign all the petitions and take all the actions. Divest from deforestation. If you're using Chase or Bank of America, or you have your money involved in BlackRock, you can call them and tell them you are going to switch out of those banks because they are contributing to the companies like JBS and Cargill destroying Amazon. All of this information is on our website at the Take Action page of WeAreGuardiansFilm.com. Go there, take action. Do it.
Yeah, go take action today.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful to talk about the eco side and the eco grief, because I think that any environmentalist has really experienced that. Like, I know for myself, I was suicidal and depressed living in Mexico when I saw after living in the Amazon for 6 months in Peru and hiking 8 hours a day and doing conservation research, to moving to Mexico and seeing all the plastic going into the ocean. And I just, I woke up one day and I couldn't even recognize who I was. And and so like shifting that narrative, like I'm really on a mission to shift the narrative into this regenerative narrative, into one that's inspiring. We need a shift because like the old narrative, the old fear-based programming from the news, the advertising is no longer serving us. It's continuing to create this dark cloud over our heads and blinding us. So it's really time to step into a new empowering narrative where all the solutions are here, and it's just about sharing them. It's really about focusing on solutions, like sharing them and cross-posting to amplify. We have so many amazing organizations and networks. Only One, Water Bear. There's like many Netflix-based, like Earth-based platforms and films, and we just really need to start linking them together so we can bring in more resources and build teams and distribute energy better than we have been ever on planet Earth.
And We Are Guardians, the name speaks for itself. We are all guardians. And the film talks about reforesting your mind. What does that mean, right? It goes back to the indigenous wisdom. Actually, in one of the territories featured in the film, there are still uncontacted people living there. They have never been contacted by the outside world. They still live completely naturally in the forest. They've never even seen a spoon or a car or anything like that. And so imagine, like, in our daily life, what makes us happy? Do we get happy when we consume, when we listen to the mainstream narrative that literally has lost all of our cultural traditions and our like connection with the land? Does that make us happy when we go to Walmart and buy more things? No. These guys know what it's like to be happy.
It's really about reconnecting with the experience and with like, and the connection from like human connection, really. Because we're also, and the connection with our own higher selves and source and, and into nature, and restoring that connection with ourselves, because we like step out of a disempowering narrative for our own life. And that's why story is so powerful, because the world we know is created through story. So once we shift our own internal narrative, we actually shift, the community around us, and then we shift the entire collective narrative.
Exactly. Well said.
Yeah. We're here at LIB day 1, day 2.
Day 0,
Day
really.
0. It's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Thursday at LIB. Remind me your name and
Chelsea Greene.
Where can we find you online?
I'm at WeAreGuardiansFilm.com, We Are Guardians Instagram, Facebook, and also C Greene, SEA__Greene.
Amazing. We're about to go watch
We Are Guardians.
We Are Guardians at the Lighthouse here in a few moments at Lightning in a Bottle 2024.
Thank you so much for everybody. Wow, you're a great vlogger.